Let's go through 10 things the finals does better than other FPS games, the most popular one being Call of Duty, of course. And number 10 here, the finals is an extremely quick download. The open beta was less than 20 gigabytes, which is insane, and the final version of the game won't be much larger. While it's not an actual gameplay feature, game sizes specifically for FPS titles have ballooned over the years, with games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare exceeding 125 gigabytes, though it's not an issue for those with large hard drives. For others, like people on the Xbox Series X or S, conserving space for games is at the front of their mind, and the fact that a game is so small, even though the open beta was essentially a full game, is certainly a nice feature. Hopefully, this will carry into the full release so that more people with different platforms can enjoy the game. So, can you guys know, every new Call of Duty update makes the overall file size bigger and bigger. Sometimes we have 50 gigabyte seasonal updates for Call of Duty. With finals here, it seems like all of these updates and the final game will be drastically smaller, still with a lot of content packed in, which is really cool to see. And number 9 here, build options for different gameplay preferences. We have a light, heavy, and medium. So in the finals, one of the first things that most will do is select a preferred build from light, medium, and heavy options. This dictates speed and maximum momentum, but also affects the abilities and weapons obtainable. While many FPS games prefer to adjust movement speed based on a gun, the finals has variable movement speeds based on build, lending itself to people of different gameplay preferences and styles. While this certainly is nothing new for games in general, it's a place that FPS titles tend to not go for the sake of balance, which is cool here. So again, like Call of Duty, everything needs to be balanced overall. Sometimes things are overpowered, underpowered, but the finals here, they're going into this game with that in mind, that not everything will be balanced. You're going to have different classes that affect how you play in just different ways from what we normally see in first-person shooters, which is pretty good to see. Now, as good of a game as the finals is going to be, it's still going to be susceptible, unfortunately, to bad connection and bad ping, just like every other modern FPS game here. But an easy way to fix this issue dramatically is by using GearUp Booster, which is specifically designed to enhance your network environment. So if you normally play with pretty bad connection issues or over 100 ping, GearUp will cut that in half, which is obviously a huge difference there. It's super easy to use on PC. All you have to do is install the program, search up the finals, click the PC version, select your region, the game you want to boost, of course, the finals, and that's it. It'll show your estimated ping and how much is improving your connection. Really sick stuff there. If you're on console as well, there's also a game router called Hyper-V that will help your connection drastically. Just like the PC program, all that good stuff will be accessible with that router for console users. You could switch servers whenever you want as well. And of course, again, your network connection will finally become stable. No jumping from 200 ping to 50, back up to 200 to 100. You're always going to have the lowest possible ping consistently. It's super easy to use as well. Just one click and your game is boosted. That's it. It's safe to use. GearUp Booster will not result in your account being banned. So if you guys want better connection while playing the finals and other popular games, be sure to check them out. Use my link down below in the description to check it out for free. Thanks again to GearUp for sponsoring today's video. But back to the list here. At number 8, it's fluid and fast paced as well. So we have gadgets for mobility in the finals. But the closed beta of the finals suffered from what many claim to be delayed inputs. The open beta fixed many of those issues, resulting in some of the most fluid movement in a shooter. On top of that, there are several mobility gadgets that can be obtained, from commutal zip lines to grappling hooks to launch pads, furthering the possibilities for the movement in this game. While a lumbering heavy might not feel great to play, light classes and the game's slide mechanic make it feel better than most AAA shooters out there. So one of the best things about the finals, at least in my opinion, coming from Call of Duty, is just the fluidity of the movement. It's so smooth. It's so clean. They are definitely doing that so well compared to a lot of FPS games where it's just so clunky, way too clunky for a modern day FPS. So the finals is doing that right for sure. Next here, though, we have gameplay loop encourages engagements. While games in the Battle Royale genre have solved the issue of just camping until the end of the round with an ever-closing circle, the finals approaches things in a more creative way by forcing teams to compete for money vaults across the map, creating temporary points of interest to battle over, which is pretty interesting. The basic premise behind the cash out game mode in the finals is to find a cash safe and then cash it out while other teams are trying to steal it. While it's not a wholly unique concept to have a capture point type game mode in an FPS, how the finals employs it is an interesting change of pace and in line with the game's story and aesthetic. That's pretty cool. They're not a massive difference in my opinion, but still pretty cool. A big one here, which is just obvious, the finals is free to play. So this one here, I mean, a huge part, and I have friends in real life that want to check out, for example, Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, but what's stopping them is that they don't have MW3. They can't purchase the game. If it was free, they would be able to play. I played DMZ for free last year with my friends because it was free. They wanted to hop on, check it out, and they ended up really enjoying it. So games being free to play is such a W. Being able to have as many people as possible play your game is so great. So the finals doing that as well, completely free to play with no pay to win mechanisms, is definitely great to see. We have frenetic and intense gunplay. From the gameplay you guys have seen, obviously you could tell it is a super fast-paced game. If you like that style of first-person shooter, this is going to be the game for you. Of course, you can have those heavy classes, as I said. You could slow down a little bit and still, you know, perform well. But this is definitely more of a fast-paced game. If you're a run-and-gun type of guy, you're probably going to do pretty well in this type of first-person shooter. The finals has style as well, eye-catching visuals and mechanics. So though certainly not everyone will agree, the finals does maintain a futuristic dystopian aesthetic that other shooters haven't fully explored. While high-tech futuristic themes have been prevalent in shooters for decades, they usually maintain a pretty serious science fiction tone. The finals has a sleek presentation immersing players in a virtual reality game show that stands as the premise for the deathmatch. Even on lower graphical settings, the game looks great, and the high-flying aerobatic moves accompany the detailed environment for pleasing visuals. So based on everything we've seen so far for the finals, it just looks like a really aesthetically pleasing game. Every gameplay I've seen, what I played in the beta as well, it looks pretty solid here. So even if you have a console or PC that doesn't perform the best games, this should still look really good on your platform of choice. There's of course crossplay and cross progression, a huge W there. Xbox X and S, PS5, PC players can all play together, which of course is great, but most FPS games have that nowadays as well. A big one here, of course, good shooter foundations. Shots to the head have a typical multiplier effect, but shooting generally feels responsive and good. So just again, a basic part of an FPS game is how it feels to kill the player, and if it feels satisfying to kill, that's definitely a really great thing there. And finally, we have fully destructible environments. Complete building demolition is possible here. So a little bit of a Battlefield Rainbow Six Siege vibe here, where we have wall destruction, creating unique angles where it completely changes the way you play the map, going for different capture points and blowing up a wall to have a new entry point or vantage point from afar is definitely going to be a really cool feature there to change things up at the final. So let me know down below, again, coming from Call of Duty, are you guys likely to check out the finals? Again, it's free to play. It's coming out very soon. So a lot of people have been talking about checking it out. A lot of Call of Duty people have talked about it as well. So it should be a pretty decent launch here. We'll see how long it lasts. But so far, from what we've seen regarding this game and what we played, it seems to be pretty solid. So again, let me know down below your opinions on this. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.